I'm Pastor George Borghardt, and this is another Higher Things video short. You're a sinner, even when you're talking about Jesus. That's the subject of today's Higher Things video short. A lot of times when we're having discussions with our friends, neighbors, and parents, or teachers, we have scripture on our side. We know that we're right. What we're discussing is something that we've heard in church before. It's been reiterated to us in confirmation or Bible class, and we know we're right. And in the midst of this, we forget that the only one who saves us is the Jesus who we're talking about. We're a sinner, even when we're talking about Jesus, and we're only saved by the Jesus that we're talking about. What I mean is, love. Love is the means in which we talk about Jesus with others. Not trying to score points or picking arguments apart or getting that jab in, that like sort of cheap shot in on an internet blog or something like that. Jesus alone saves us when we're right, just as much as Jesus alone saves us when we're wrong. Jesus alone saves us in churchy settings, and Jesus alone saves us outside of churchy settings. A lot of times when we're in a religious setting, we think we're somehow less a sinner, or we behave as if we're somehow less a sinner. Like, I'm like 50% a sinner when I'm in a church and mostly a saint, and I'm like 50%, like 100% a sinner when I'm at home. And so I don't act at home the way I would at church or in religious discussions. You're a sinner all the time. You're a sinner when you're sinning actively, and you're a sinner when you are discussing the faith of Jesus and you think that sin is the furthest thing that you could be doing. You can be disrespectful while talking about Jesus. You can sin while talking about Jesus. You can be right and be wrong in the way that you're delivering his message. Talk to people. Listen to them. Respect those that you're discussing matters with. With those inside the faith, treat them as if they're inside the faith with you, not compromising the truth, but trying to reach those common points in which you could give more Jesus or give more of the gospel and widen the forgiveness and the gifts that you're given or that they're receiving. And with those outside the faith, don't speak down to them as if you're holy and they're a sinner. No, you both are sinners, and you both are holy by the blood of Christ. Christ died for all, and even those who don't believe in him, which means the gift which they're rejecting at the time doesn't change the goodness of the gift. So speak to everyone as if they've been redeemed by Christ, because they have. And if they're rejecting it, well, just keep talking about the Jesus who saves them. Not compromising the truth, but expressing the truth in love and humility, understanding that while you're talking about the truth of Jesus, you're not immune from sin. And the only way that they're going to be saved is the way that you're going to be saved. And the only way that you're going to be saved is the same way that the same Jesus you're delivering to them. Jesus alone saves while you're talking about him, as surely as when you're not. And so, respectful, love, because love covers a multitude of sins. There's never a point in which you get to be disrespectful with a person over an authority over you, like mom or dad, just because you're right. Jesus alone saves. Hold to your scriptures. Hold to what you've learned. Deliver what you've learned to those around you. But always be aware that the only way you're going to be saved is by the Jesus that you're talking about. Because you are a sinner, even when you're talking about Jesus, and you are a saint, especially when you're talking about Jesus. They are too. I'm Pastor George Borghardt, and this has been another Higher Things video short.